As Nicki Minaj once said, pound the alarm because it's a DNVR Avalanche Emergency Podcast. Welcome in, AJ, Big E, Rudo. It's late for you guys. What?
What? What did Nicki Minaj say?
Pound the alarm.
It's a DNVR Avalanche. She gave us a shout out? That's so cool of her.
Sure. Let's say she did.
You just said it. I'm with it.
Either way. Lock in, because the Avs did something. They've actually been doing things. It took till the middle of August for them to start doing things, but they're doing stuff. Today, they sign Victor Olofsson, a 1-year deal expected to be around $1.5 million AAV, but we don't have official numbers.
Yeah, somewhere a little more than Kiviranta, and I guess a little is relative, but the placeholder $800K that Puckpedia has sent out is incorrect. Yeah.
All right. So we have that locked in. Olofsson has had a bit of a crazy career. Most of it played in Buffalo, where he was a pretty darn good goal scorer. Had a couple of 40-point seasons. Then we saw the fall off that happens to everyone until they escape Buffalo. Went to Vegas last year, had a good bounce back year. Didn't play the full season, but 29 points in 56 games. I'll leave it to you guys. It's another goal scoring winger, but certainly it helps the Avs. Yes.
Yes. So the thing. Okay. How to order this? Olofsson signs a prove-it deal in Vegas last year because his final season in Buffalo was a train wreck. He has 15 points in 51 games. Completely falls out of favor with the Sabres. Doesn't have a place in their lineup anymore. Is not a good defensive wing. Doesn't drive any play. And is basically only good for shooting one-timers on a power play. Right? He scored a bunch of empty calorie goals with the Sabres where people were like, this guy's really underrated. What's going on? What? And it was like he craters in with the Sabres a couple years ago when they had a bunch of legit forwards there that kind of push him down the lineup. Can't figure it out. Goes to Vegas, proves it. Gets kind of a show me deal, and shows that he can fit inside of a proper structure. Has a good year. Battles injuries, a lot of injuries. Only played 56 games, but he scored 15 goals. Productive on the power play, and has one of the best one-timers in the league. So, does not have a real market materialize after that, and is kind of like the easiest comp here. I swear, this is the easiest, most straight line comp here. The same way Evan Rodriguez left Buffalo, went to Pittsburgh, had a good year. The league doesn't trust it. He lands in Colorado, proves it, gets a multi-year deal, and he's legit with the Panthers. It's a very similar route, although very different players. Very similar route as what Olofsson has taken to get here. And the Avs wait out the market once again and find a value deal here.
Yeah, it's funny because we weren't talking, we weren't talking, the three of us, before the show there. We were actually waiting for you then. That's all I kept thinking about. For me, it's got Erod written all over it. It just reminds me so much of it, even though he's a lefty. Erod's a righty. A guy that you'll never know. And again, I'm going to take a shot at Buffalo here. I just am. You just have to.
I've been doing it every day for months, buddy.
I know. I'm going to take a shot at them. You really don't know what you have, because it's been such a weird environment there. So I think that, good or bad, you know what I mean? You got to take it with a grain of salt, and then believe in your beliefs of what you think of the player and where you think he might fit with you. I think that's what Vegas did last year. Again, like you said, if it wasn't for the injuries, he still had a decent year last year, again, with a structured team. Bruce Cassidy's got structure. They're trying to win. Obviously, in Buffalo, he had no playoffs experience. and Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, all those guys coming out of Buffalo. That's why I'm taking a shot at them. But this guy's another point that we can touch up on, and that's what I'm pushing for. Are we going to get it? I don't know, but 2 power plays. Now you're getting another guy again that you can put on an excellent power play guy, right? You know what I mean? So with my 2 units and what I'm trying to push for, if Jared's listening right now, I'm hoping he is, let's shoot for 2 PPs here. Now you're getting another guy. This guy can shoot a puck. I don't know. It's the Avalanche alumni weekend this weekend. Peter Forsberg coming to town. The kid's from Modo. I think he grew up in Modo, played his minor hockey in Modo. I don't know. Did Peter have anything to do with it too? Hey, come on there, Phil. Let's go. Go to Colorado and go score some goals. And again, it smells like Erod. Make it and all of a sudden, if you don't fit there because you did too well, then you go sign a nice contract somewhere else, and look how well it worked out for Erod. So I like the signing. I do like the depth now. We're starting to look at it. The cat meow, right? A couple of days ago, last week, whatever it was, and now Olofsson. Now you don't have the, no offense to anyone, but on the roster, projected roster, the Fellibers and guys like, and again, those are awesome guys to call up and everything. I'm just saying, I don't think they're ready for everyday NHL, duty, right? So I think now you're starting to fill in the gaps. We talked about on the show today, internal competition, right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now all of a sudden you're like, even more competition now, even more internal competition, and I like it. I like it.
There's a couple of different things there. One, on the power play, I think being realistic, Olofsson certainly doesn't have the inside track to the first power play unit at the very least. Second power play unit, if you want to have that conversation, fine, whatever. But I think the real thing with the power play there is that's another guy in the bag for the Avs that they can say, hey, if the Avs are in that slump, if they get into that mindset of refusing to shoot the puck, throw Olofsson out there in the right circle and tell him to shoot the thing. It's a way to simplify that unit a little bit, though I don't expect his usage to be extensive on the power play, if we're honest about it. The other side of this, and we can wrap back around to Olofsson. I know we want to get into his stats more, but I did want to talk about the Avs lineup a little bit with him because Olofsson is not a center. He is a winger, 100%. Yeah. So either the Avs still need to go out and get a 3C, which they can do if they want. They have a couple mil in space left, depending on exactly what the cost of this deal ends up being. And then you could do that, which makes you feel like this team is incredibly deep, but it also opens up other options. Chat has been talking about Jack Drury potentially as 3C. To me, a move like this maybe more signals they might want Ross Colton to be 3C, but
I think that might be with the money being what it's going to be, because they are now going to be a little bit tighter. And Puckpedia has kind of given people like a false sense of what
they have
their
15
money
forwards
really is
in that lineup.
Because before the signing they had him at $2 million in cap space, and that's with Daniil Gushchin, Ty Felber, Nikita Prischapov, and Ivan all. So that's not going to be the case. At most, you're looking at two of those types of contracts. And Olofsson will essentially knock 2 of those right out. The final number will be right around what 2 of those would cost. So they've got a little bit of space left, but you're more likely now looking at, if you're going to add, we talked about this literally on today's pod, if you add a 3C option via trade, now you're probably going to have to more likely look at money in, money out. You don't have to, but you're a lot closer to that territory, depending, and like that would open up a wider base of options for you if you can make that happen. Strictly doing it for like, oh, here's a second round pick or something, that's a little tougher. But right now, their current alignment, you are wondering, is the idea because we've been talking about like, hey, Jack Drury as 3C, and then 4C is either Kelly or Zakhar Bardakov or a PTO option. Now with this, I think it gives a little bit. It gives that extra option of Colton can play on one side, Olofsson can play on the other side, and then you can put Drury in the middle. Especially while LOC is out, and when LOC comes, there's going to be a major temptation to put Kelly, Drury, and LOC back together because they were so good together. And then you are going to be looking at Kiviranta, Colton, and Olofsson as like a sort of like an island of misfit toy third line.
Yeah. Go ahead, E.
No, you're talking about roster. For me, this is what I think is going to happen. This is what I'm hoping is going to happen. It's a lot like what you just said. For me, Jack Drury's your third line center. That's what it is. You know, he's got more than fourth line duty. He can give you more. I know that they were really high on him when they went and got him last year. Obviously, settled into the fourth line role, limited minutes, but he did well. I think he's capable to chew a lot more. And for me, Ross Colton's better on the wing. We'll keep him on the wing.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Parker Kelly, I agree that he's better on the wing, but out of necessity, he might have to play center, to start the season. And until LOC gets back, then you'll have to figure, is it Steinberg? Is it, like you said, Bardakov? I don't know. We'll see. But, I think there's going to be some options for people to run into stuff there. You know what I mean? You could put Parker in the middle, Steinberg on the right. And, it is what it is, right? But I do believe Drury is going to be your third line center. I think that's what they're going to shoot for. I'm hoping that's what they do. And we'll go from there. And then at the end of the day, we'll see how the year, evolves. And it's not set in stone, but I think you can easily start that way for sure.
With Olofsson, if you do end up going Jack Drury 3C, I think that's very enticing because what you talk about all the time, it puts players where they're supposed to be, right? Olofsson has clearly showed he's capable of scoring at a third line role in his career. Yes, maybe he leans on the power play a little bit, but not a guy you're afraid of playing 13, 14 minutes a night. You put Drury in the middle, Colton on the right. That moves Kiviranta down to the fourth line, and you start to feel really good top to bottom about your wings at that point. It fits very, very well. Things get a little bit more complicated if you want Kivy on the third line. When LOC comes back, there's going to be some shuffling, but that's always the case in a bottom six. And Olofsson is interesting here because the question is, what can you get out of these guys? And I don't want to spoil our show. We're going to talk about room for improvement on some of these guys on a later show this week. So you have to tune in, like, and subscribe here to the DNVR Sports channel. But the Avs now move from a position where it feels like they're filling holes into their lineup to who's going to earn what spots.
Yeah. We talked in the earlier pod today that we thought that there were 11 jobs pretty much spoken for. And that counted a healthy LOC. Now that number moves to 12.
Yep.
So
the camp battle is LOC's injury replacement now.
Yeah. That's as E mentioned, that's Bardakov versus Steinberg versus Poland versus whatever. Versus
Pick your favorite guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Right. But yeah, this does give you add Kiviranta, you add Olofsson, and you do it for like right around $3 million total.
Pretty good.
This is about raising the floor of your roster, but with Olsen specifically, you have a guy that gives you the Andre Burakovsky, like he can just shoot a puck, like that he can just score a goal for you from anywhere on the ice. He can just fire one home, and that's an element that the Colorado's bottom six. It's smart, it's fast, it plays with a little bit of physicality, it's good defensively, but it has to work so hard to score goals. Olofsson brings an element of ease with that. The defensive game isn't going to be as strong, but everything else about his profile is something that is a good fit, sans the skating. That not a good skater.
The one thing I would be careful with, and we can bring up his heat chart if you have it, Tiff. this guy doesn't have issues producing offense because of what AJ's talked about. Dude can absolutely rip the puck from anywhere. Dude is capable of producing. But part of the reason why you're going to need to find a 3C here is Olofsson doesn't drive a whole lot of play on his own. He's going to need
opposite.
Yeah, he's going to need guys that push the play, similar in some ways to Ross Colton, though the possession is actually even worse. They need someone to drive play in between those two guys that can get them going the right direction, that can get them in the offensive zone, and then you can let them finish. Great. But they're going to need help on that side. The other side of this is how much of last season is Victor Olofsson figured out how to play defense in the NHL, and how much of it is Vegas just has a good system that made him look good defensively?
Well, I mean, I'll jump in there. Team structure. You can't win. You can't achieve or attain playoffs if you don't have team structure. It's impossible. So, I again, another shot at Buffalo there. Again, I'm not bashing on the coaches or whatever. Sometimes the guys, the players that put on the jersey, you have to buy in. So I think you end up in a place like Vegas for him, and hey, listen, hockey's not that complicated when there's structure. We want a structured environment, lives, and everything. So I think as a player, that's all you can ask for. So it sounds like this guy, followed the structure, had a decent year, and obviously will be able to play within the structure. And like I said, that's why you have to rely on your scouting staff here. You have to rely on projections and fit of where you think he's going to be and how you think he's going to be. And then you have to take away that bad year, in Vegas. And sometimes you have to take away a good year because of what I just said. You play without structure. You might go score 30, 40 goals, but your team doesn't make the playoffs. There's a reason for that, right? So I think he falls in the category that they do believe that he will be a good fit, like we all three of us here do. And I do believe that he's got the brains, to fit within the structure, the Avalanche structure, a little bit like he did in Vegas. And like AJ said, I totally agree. He brings something different on the bottom six. He brings something that is a hard thing to do, which is to score goals. It's not easy to score goals in the National Hockey League. Just ask Ross last year, right? That 20 game stretch where, all of a sudden it's not going in, So I do believe that you pair him up with Russ, you pair him up with with Drury. I do believe that Drury can chew more and feed the monsters on both sides. You know what I mean? Where all of a sudden Russ can have a productive year. So Ross, and obviously Olofsson can have a productive year. So I'd like to see a little bit more production 5-on-5 from the third line, the fourth line. You know what I mean? The fourth line was awesome last year. We all know that. Would have liked to seen a little bit more production at times. We all know that, you know what I mean. But again, you can't ask sometimes too much of guys like Parker to put the puck in the net. This guy can put the puck in the net. So I do believe that it's a great addition, and I think it's a great fit for the Avalanche.
We do have a $10 super chat here from KQ. I'm sorry that I messed up your name. Can the Avs look at signing Michael McLeod at center? No. The NHL has not unsuspended them regardless of the outcome of the trial or anything like that. And if you're looking for my personal opinion, they shouldn't unsuspend him. So no, that will not be happening.
I'm going to disagree a little bit on it being such a good fit. I think it's not like a bad fit. Like, you're not looking at this going, oh man, but it's not what are they doing or anything, right? I think that there is some decent Tomas Tatar potential here, like a guy that could find some tough sledding in Colorado. He doesn't skate at the kind of pace that the Avalanche like to skate at. He doesn't play at that type of level. Doesn't really transport puck through the neutral zone. He doesn't do along the wall at a really high level. He's been a bit too perimeter oriented of a player for my liking for a long time, and it's why I'm not. It's why I've always kind of been iffy on him as a player. I think what he did in Vegas was impressive, and he deserves all the credit for evolving his game to fit on a contender and out a legitimate role for them. Their offense suffered while he was injured. it really is like a testament to his ability to evolve as a player, and that takes, as you mentioned, that takes hockey smarts to be able to do. So I for the price and with his track record, looking around at what's available out there, like this is a small bet at a cheap number. And as we saw with Tatar, if it does not work out through the first 30, 40 games, they'll find a taker for him. Somebody will give him a shot and go from there. But with Olofsson, like I like the upside. I don't think it's an amazing fit. I think it raises the floor. I'm a lot more comfortable with Victor Olofsson than I am Pi Feliber and Nikita Prischapov, guys like that.
What's a proven NHLer? Like
exactly. Like that's the guy that can help you a little bit.
Yeah, it's look. Could this go terribly? Yes, but it's the downside to this is just so small for the Avalanche with a deal like this that it almost doesn't matter. Like AJ said, even if it goes poorly, you very likely can flip this guy out at no cost to yourself, if not even for an asset. So why not do this if you're the Colorado Avalanche? And the upside is you end up with if it goes perfectly, you end up with a 40-point guy playing on your third line, A++.
Yeah, and I'm gonna even take it further. This is, I like them. If they can listen to my proposition of a second power play, and he does chew a little bit more of power play minutes, I do believe this guy scores 27 goals this year. Mark it down, Tiff. 27. Mark it down. He's scoring 27 this year.
You can have the highest scoring third line in NHL history. What in the world?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's scoring 27. Hey, again, guys, there's going to be injuries. No one plays sleep right now. So he's gonna get his time up there. He's gonna get his time at some point up there in the top 6. It just happens. It happens with every team. He's gonna get his time on the power play at times. So this guy, mark it down, Tiff, whatever it is, 9:00 Denver time, August. What is it, 19th? He's gonna score 27 goals.
I think it's an important note because there will be injuries. Lehkonen and Nichushkin both miss 20 games a year, 15, 20 games a year. Landeskog, we have absolutely no idea, right? Like we have no idea.
Or you could play 5.
Right. Like we have no idea with him. And with both Colton and Olofsson, you're not looking at going, oh no, we're 2 injuries in, and Yoel Kiviranta and Logan O'Connor and Jack are playing top 6 roles. And Olofsson is a guy that has done that. Again, on bad teams in empty calorie minutes that were completely meaningless, other than, I guess, for his own personal soul fulfillment. But in terms of like impact NHL minutes, has not really done that. Did not do that in Vegas. So it is good depth for them. And again, less than $2 million.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good deal. That's good money for them.
Good business.
Yeah,
especially if he scores 27.
He scores 12. It's a good bit. It's a good
deal. I was gonna say he scored 15 in 56 games last year, and only 6 were on the power play. That I'll take that.
Yep.
Like
easy. And give him a little health. That's a 35, 40-point dude. Like it's hard not to see a lot of upside in this deal for the Avalanche. It's really good business to get done deep into August, as the Avs have now garnered a reputation for finding these type of deals late in August. And like I do think there is some credit deserved by the Avalanche here. How we talk about every year, someone's like, "Oh, is Colorado still a destination for players?" I think these August signings prove that it absolutely is. Players know they can, especially these 1-year deal types. You talked about Erod earlier on this show. You come to Colorado to try and rehab your career a little bit. You can get a type of season that will get you an extended contract, whether with the Avs or somewhere else, by coming here and playing quality hockey.
Oh, yeah. McKinnon, Makar effect, good goaltending. I mean, Why wouldn't you want to come here, right? It's these guys are in the window. Their window's open for a few more years. So the guy wants to bet on himself like that. Again, it smells like Erod. It just does.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. I mean, I know we have those microstat graphics, but you guys just want to save that for tomorrow's show, maybe? Or you guys want more you want to add tonight?
I would just like to touch on it a little bit because I want to we'll dig more into it tomorrow. But if you have the two that are side by side next to each other, it's got yes. So on the right side, you see what he was like his last year in Buffalo, and on the left side, you see last year in Vegas. Again, these are just microstats. These are highly specific things. But you see a lot of improvement across the board. One-timers, a monster. He creates a lot of rebounds because of the one-timers. Like it is not difficult to see where he is getting the success there offensively. A more thorough forechecking, more active forechecking presence in Vegas. They asked him to do that a little bit more. He responded well to it. Great. He played with a little more physicality in Vegas than he ever really did in Buffalo. Great. But this is not a guy that transports pucks for you. He's not a playmaker. You're not asking him to carry this thing from the defensive zone into the offense. This is about shooting. This is just about shooting and hoping that the growth that he showed last year in the defensive zone is real. Because if it is, this is a rock solid signing. You feel really good about it. Good value, good depth. You hope the fit goes well. And if he's more of the Buffalo player from 2 years ago, we will talk about this more as the Tatar type signing than the Erod type.
I know for a lot of people, they see these charts and it's just a bunch of numbers and they kind of phase out. So I do want to touch on, when you look at, especially the improvements towards the bottom of these charts on the Vegas side, what it shows that is in the Vegas system, he was significantly better on the forecheck and significantly better on getting pucks out of his own zone with possession. Those are two things that in theory will be great in the Avalanche system the same way they were in Vegas. There's things the Avs focus on. There's things they want to succeed at. If he can do that, he's going to fit in Colorado fine, regardless of his skating ability or other effects. If he sucks, then maybe it ends up looking more like Buffalo. But realistically, assuming the Avs don't ask too much of him defensively and try and have him be a shutdown guy, which I don't believe he is, I don't see why he can't make it look similar to what he did in Vegas.
And that's why you see on the left there's a structure and a culture. On the right, there's none. So I listen. I'm pro player for those things. You're in an environment that's tough. You're going to see a lot of graphics like on the right side, and you go to a place where there's a structure and there's expectations and there's goals, which are realistic goals of trying to win it all. You see the graphics on the left side. I do believe that. I do believe every NHL player wants to be guided, and when they're not, it's a free for all. I do believe that he fell in the right place last year, and he showed that he is not a free for all guy, and he's a structured guy. When he's put in that situation, I do believe he's going to fall right into the structure of the Avalanche and obviously the culture.
Yep. Being a good team is nice. It makes good players better, turns out. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm good. Anything else you guys want to add on the Victor Olofsson emergency pod, or are we out of here?
I love it.
I think we're solid. We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
There you go. Tomorrow we'll be talking more Olofsson, probably Natchez' contract as well. So tune into that. AJ will have a piece up, or already does have a piece up for Natchez.
We'll see, depending on with the Olofsson stuff. You know,
right.
It's the middle of August. I don't think I want to put up two pieces in rapid succession.
There are written pieces coming on DNVR.com. How about that? We'll go with it that way. So make sure you get over there. Check out AJ's stuff when it does get posted. That is it for us tonight, though. We appreciate y'all showing out for the emergency pod. You know you can find us when any Avs news drops right here. So thank you for watching, and we will talk to you. Our show's in like 14 hours, so it won't be long. We'll see you soon.
We all silly like the mayor.